Good afternoon. Grogan here for the first edition of the Dynasty Chronicles, 2009-2010 edition. Be a great year, action-packed year. 12 solid teams, that's right. Our little Dynasty has grown to 12 teams. Some we don't know, some new teams. Rocky Mountain Oysters, Teddy KKK, a little racist at the end there. I don't know what that means, but for a liberal name, it's going down the wrong path. And who else is new? I think that's it. 2 new teams, but some new personalities, some redone personalities, and some personalities that are going to wear on you, probably including mine. So, without further ado, I'd like to thank the commissioner of the jacket. He's going back to the jacket. It's going old school. Forget this mass mayhem, whatever you are, the Wolfpack. I have no idea what a Wolfpack is. Don't know what it has to do with Massachusetts. It's not North Carolina State. I don't know what to say. But let's get on with the season's review and the draft. The commissioner did a fine job. Brought Deal on. Did a great job. Excellent. Vanna White, nothing. Right to LA. You can do the circle, square, do that. Forget Andrew. You don't need him. The draft. Food was slim, but the personalities abound. It was great to be there. I really like to thank BBB and the Rocky Mountain Oysters for traveling a long way from Florida to come. Teddy K, he couldn't make it from 4 blocks away. It was noted. It was noted by the people there that you didn't want to make the effort, but that's neither here nor there. We'll discuss that later. The draft, some shining moments. Some people shone. Some people didn't shine as well. You know who you are, and I'll be telling you in a minute. But thank you, Commissioner. You had quite a pad there in Boston, Charles Street. Ooh, big money. No, I'm not saying big money. Maybe it isn't big money, but it's quite impressive for a young 27-year-old. You're doing well, Andrew. Keep it up. All right, the draft. I'd like to go over each one's team really quickly, and then we'll digest and give a little synopsis on the season. Chairman Webb, I haven't forgotten about you. You're going to be my first guest. This is the draft preview show and draft results show. I don't usually have a guest on this show. The first team I want to review is let's see here, it's the Kennel. It's the Kennel. I'm a little sloppy today. My production assistant would rather watch, Avery Hayes would rather watch Secret Life of American Teenager, and my other best boy, Ben Hayes, he's outside fooling around somewhere. So I'm on my own, as I always am. Here we go. What was he thinking, the Kennel? He drafted two second-string running backs. Pierre Thomas hurt. Cedric Benson run right into a forest. He's like his legs are like oak trunks. You just can't move. You can't move. You can't move. You can't move. You just can't get it going. Matt Sharp, as brittle as they come. So he has a sprained ankle. Sprained it in last week. Not looking good. Not looking good. Not looking good for the Kennel. His judgment in the draft is simply a question of tightening up. The collar tightens up a little come draft time. I have some ends. He's got Andre Johnson and Randy Moss. If they get someone to throw the ball to Johnson, they'll be okay. And Moss is, well, I think he'll do fine. Colin Winslow, okay. His best player on his team is to steal his defense. You know, when your best player is the defense, you have trouble. The Kennel, I give him a D as a grade, and if you, well, let's compare him. If he was an actor, who would he be? He'd be like a Chevy Chase. He's trying to make a comeback. Once a little bit funny, but it's not funny anymore. He's just old, and it's time to go. And Kennel, a once proud champion here, went from last place, and it doesn't look like you're going anywhere soon. Next, we have the Wolfpack. Commish, Solid. A solid draft. I have no complaints with it. Well, I always have some complaints, but nothing major. Except you got Jacobs, could get hurt, but that could be said about anyone. Lendell White, he's a vulture. He'll put him in there for second string. It's tough to get that good second back. I love your quarterback, Drew Brees. You got those ends, they're acerbic, their personalities, they could explode at any minute. Brandon Marshall and Deshaun Jackson. They're suspended. They'll be both suspended this year. So I hope you get a good backup. And okay, Jason Witten, you have a good tight end, and you should be okay. I don't know, if you're an actor, I'd say you were a Ben Affleck. You're good, but really not as good as your ego thinks you are. So solid. I grade you out at a B. A B. Next is what the hell is that? I can't read. It's tough to get freaking old. Team Teddy K. As I said, Teddy, I like your Democratic leanings. I know you're a nephew of Terry McAuliffe, infamous for head of the Democratic National Committee, I believe, during the Clinton years, raised a lot of money. Good friends with Hillary Clinton, correct? You think you know I know this stuff, and also probably a crooked guy, probably a crook. I would bet a crook. You don't get that high without being a crook. I dabbled in politics, and we can talk about that later. And I might run someday for that seat. There's some talk of me taking Teddy's seat, but I'm not ready yet. Get some skeletons too. I'll talk about later. Cutler good. Slayton, some say, and I said it, overplayed, but not a bad player. Grant, I like. And I love your ends. Johnson, Walker, I think they go well. Owen Daniels, your defense is solid. It's a solid draft. I would say I give yourself a B also. I'm even leaning maybe to a B+. And if you were an actor, you would be a Colin Farrell. Good, solid, but you're not without your problems. You're not without your problems, off screen and on. I haven't seen him in a movie in a while. I think he's in rehab, and like Teddy, that could be an issue. I don't know if that's an issue with you. I heard you were in a bar during the draft, drunk, and you couldn't participate. I don't know if that rumor is true. Next, little team we call Mrs. Ditka. Oh, the Mrs. A returning champion. Some say don't get involved with a league with his two women. And I was a little fearful about that. It gets a little risque in here, but these two, we have two, the Misses, and Brady Lady, who do a fine, they can hold their own, better than hold their own. I'm a little afraid of both of them, to tell you the truth. The Misses, champion last year, came back with a horrible draft. Her soon-to-be husband, the chairman, who I like, had a nice time with. He's ready to go. The Misses in that department, he's straight. He's focused on the wedding. He's done a lot of prep work the last 6 years. He's ready to blast off. I think you haven't even seen the best of him yet. I think you're going to see a lot more from this guy. So I wish you the best of luck. I'll be there, the Kennel and I, not parking cars. We're going to be there in the church, cheering you on. So it's going to be great. You're going to look beautiful. But your team is not very good. Quite frankly, a honeymoon surprise for you. You got a bad team. Matt Castle hurt. D'Angelo Williams, I think last year was his coming out party. Could be his last party too. LT I like. And Vincent Jackson, you fell in love with Vincent Jackson. I don't know why, but you did. I had him solid, but not. You have number one end. Roy Williams. I have no Roy Williams. I had Roy Williams, and he's a horrible. Okay, he's not good. He's got bad hands. He's not. He doesn't get open. Does not get open. Sorry. Other guys, solid team. I think if you were an actress, you'd be Julia Roberts. I think you'd be Julia Roberts. Once proud, once a box office draw, but we'll see her doing commercials pretty soon in Europe, and that's where your team's heading. Sorry, Mrs., but you'll turn it around. Next, we have the 4-0 Mafia. I'm going to take a break here and come back because I'm going over my limit.